I got traded from Tampa to New England, right? In the end of October. So y'all know what it's like in New England at the end of October. It's 85 degrees in Florida. I don't even own a coat. All my winter stuff is here in my mom's house in Somerset. You know what I'm saying? So I go to New England, I got like just a couple long sleeve shirts.
Oh, that happens that fast? You literally, when they do a trade, bro, it's that quick.
First of all, I didn't even know New England was on the radar.
Go home back
until an hour before I committed. Like, so I'm talking to my agent because I wanted to get traded because I wasn't playing for the sorriest team in the league. That year, Tampa, we were the worst team in the league. We're like 1-7, but I kind of didn't get along with my position because the first time this ever happened when I didn't get along with my position coach, it was something that happened in training camp and they just carried over to the season. And I'm like, man, I'm not playing. And they kind of lied to me about playing last week, and I was hurt, and I came back and they didn't play me. And then Joe Flacco threw 4 touchdowns in the first quarter, and I was like, man, I'm off this sorry ass team, right? So then I called my agent. I said, bro, I got to get out of here. Like, I can't. The coach don't like me. This is not going good for me. And then literally the trade deadline was at 4. He called me at like 2:30, like, hey man, the Patriots are interested. And I was like, for real? I was so like thrown off because I'm looking at teams that run the defense similar and that want my body type. You know, a smaller, undersized linebacker. New England got big-ass linebackers. They're all 260, 265. And I'm like, bro, I don't know about New England. He said, you fucking idiot. You better take your ass up there. Bill Belichick wants you in the middle of the season. You better take your ass up there. So literally that day, I got on the phone with Bill about 3:45. Mind you, trade deadline's in 15 minutes. And I talked to Bill. Bill was like, yeah. He was like, there's an 8 o'clock flight. You know, I expect you to be at practice tomorrow.
Quick,
and I'm like, Coach, I got a dog. Like, you know what I mean? I can't bring my dog on the plane like that. You know what I'm saying? So I'm sitting there, and you literally just drop your life and just pick up another life. Like, I went up there with a book bag. Luckily, we had a bye week the next week. So that you actually 2 buys. I had one with Tampa and one with New England.
So you had a chance to buy some shit.
And but the thing is, Bill already knew that. He was like, don't worry about it. Leave your stuff. Come up with a book bag. He said, leave your stuff. We got a bye week next week after we beat Peyton Manning and the Denver Broncos on Sunday. Go home and get your stuff and come back. You know what I mean? So I was like, fuck it. All right, cool. And I literally did that. Dropped my shit, went up there. It was 85 degrees when I left. It was 32 degrees when I landed. And snowing, too.
Sounds like you have a similar agent to Frankie. Frankie loves his agent because he can talk to him like that. You're like, yo, motherfucker, make it happen. You know what I mean? And you have that rapport. It makes it a lot easier, I would think. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
As opposed to somebody you don't know that's like all business.
But that's why I hired him from the beginning. You know, I ended up kind of like firing him at the end, you know what I mean, when I was like retired and shit like that. But like the reason why I hired both of my financial advisor and my agent, because I felt like they showed me what they can do before they actually started doing it. You know what I mean? And they both knew like about my mom and how, you know, how tight I was with my mom. And I get a call from my mom like, you know, I just talked to Blake. I was like, yeah, well, he called you, huh? You know what I mean? Like, he's sneaky motherfucker. Like, you know what I mean? But that's the way to do it. You know, like you get my mom involved, and my mom, she gonna be that gauge and tell me. You know, I'm coming to my mom at 38 years old, calling, hey, mom, like, I need, you know what I mean? So I just talked to her before I came in the building. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, bro, like, you know, we only trust certain people. You know what I mean? And my mom is always the number one person on that list.
You know, Frankie says, my mom told me my whole life I'm handsome, so I think I'm fucking handsome. What were you going to say?
No, I'm saying it's good to have someone you trust and you know that's.
Well, you have that with Ali, bro. You could tell Ali to get fuck off.
Yeah,
he wouldn't be offended.
I'm saying with your mother, when you know your mother's definitely someone you can lean on. You know what I mean? Absolutely.
She's the one that you know you can lean on. You know, like when you start questioning relationships in your life. And, you know, you're like, man, call your mom. You know
unconditional love.
Yeah, it's always there, brother. It's always there, man. Shout out to Mom Dukes, man.
Hell yeah, holding it down. We were talking about, we both saw the same podcast, obviously, but Zeke, your buddy Zeke that you played, that was basketball. When did you know that, Frankie thought he was a multi-level athlete. He tried baseball, he tried it all, found his niche in, you know, in MMA.
I could have did any sport I wanted
to. But
were
you of that same mindset where you were just trying to find your groove and find out what could make you a living and what you excelled at, and how did you figure out it was football?
So it was so crazy how it happened because, like, you know, when I was young, my dad was a basketball, like, you know, street ball legend type shit in Jersey City. Okay. So like my dad used to play in like these celebrity basketball games with like the 98.7 Kiss FM team.
Wait a minute.
Yeah, back in the day.
Wikipedia says your dad's name is Flash Gordon.
It is.
Is that true?
Yeah.
I thought that was like, I'm like, someone's fucking around here.
Nah, he got a Flash chain on. Like, he been wearing that same goddamn chain since like 1988.
Get out of here. Get out of here.
Yeah.
That's fucking amazing.
So he the coolest motherfucker in the city,
That's
bro.
amazing. Dude, with a name like Flash Gordon, you gotta be, bro.
You know, so for me, like when I was young, you know, I saw my dad playing and we always watched basketball. He was a big Knicks fan. Like my dad never hated Jordan, but you know, all Knicks fans kind of hated Jordan in the 90s. You know what I mean? So I grew up and I really loved like being competitive. You know, I didn't understand at that point that like how much success I would have playing against project kids. You know, the project kids, they gonna punch you in your face. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? They gonna clothesline you going up for a layup. But I love that shit because I'm like, I'm gonna catch you back too, motherfucker. And then when I started playing football, I saw the transition starting. Like, bro, you like hitting people. I didn't know what I was doing either. You know, and my best friend, the guy I was talking about, Andre Dixon earlier, that played for Connecticut, he was my best friend, and my mom did not let me play football 6th, 7th, and 8th grade when I actually started having interest. She didn't let me play, and then Dre kind of convinced my mom to let me play, and I played my freshman year in high school. I wasn't even that good. I liked it, and I kind of quit after the season because I didn't really like the coach that I was working with. But then after that, we got a new coach. He changed my position, and then like that first freaking one-on-one drill that we did against my best friend, I hit that motherfucker so hard, bro. I gave him a stinger down his shoulder and shit, and I ain't even feel bad. And I walked away, and everybody was like, "Damn, Jay, bro, like you bringing it like that?" And I'm like, "Yeah, bro, like I've been in the weight room, bro, like I've been doing my thing." But like, you know, I didn't really understand, you know, then. But then when I started my first game against South River, that was the first game I ever started against South River, and they had this like young quarterback, and they beat the fuck out of us the year before, and shit, we beat them like 60-0 that game, and I had 3 sacks, and I was like 15 years old playing varsity, you know what I mean? And then after that, I was like, man, maybe this football shit might be better than basketball for me, because you know, sophomore year I was still playing JV basketball.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
That was East Brunswick?
That was New Brunswick. Yeah, New Brunswick.
Sorry,
Yeah. No, you good. You good. Yeah. They got a little more different color in East Brunswick.
That's funny, man. Did you look that stat up, by the way? What are the odds or the percentage of guys that actually make it to the NFL?
1.8.
Yeah, 1 point, bro. You're in the 1.8.
Yeah, man.
How about the UFC? Did you look that one up? It's got to be similar. It's odds.
It's probably similar too. I would think so.
1.8, bro. That's the top fucking 2% of the world.
You ever worried about CTE, you know, that stuff?
I wouldn't say I'm worried about it. I just kind of like embraced it. You know what I mean? Once I saw the concussion movie and I saw like all the shit that that was coming around that time, and they were like 99% of all brains that were tested had it.
Yeah.
So I play linebacker. I know I fucking got that shit.
But my thing is, that's what I'm saying. So I've seen that same study. It's at 99%. They took football players, not even professional footballers, if you played football in your life at one time. So there's the kids that probably stunk at football, and they had it. I'm like, dude, do 100 people, random people.
Yeah.
I want to see what's the percentage of CTE? 'Cause I bet you it's high too.
It probably is high.
You know what I mean?
You're probably right about that. Yeah.
Well, I bet Roger got CTE. You know what I'm saying?